What's going on YouTube? Timu's here. Since this month I'm doing my reviews for past horror films because it is of course October. And since this week I've also been talking about the Elm Street films. I've already talked about the original, but here's my review for the 2010 remake. Now I know so many people love this remake. Not it pretty much got a lot of hate. Now I would admit I would definitely agree with the criticism and stuff. I admit this is actually to me this is not a good Freddy Krueger film, but it's actually a really decent little horror film to be honest. There, I actually did not mind this one. Like I remember watching it like back in 2010 because of course at the time they were like really keen on like doing horror remakes. Obviously there was a Friday the 13th remake back in 2009. Then there was also the Halloween remake, and so they went venture on to do an Elm Street remake. And crazily, this is actually the last time, like the last Nightmare on Elm Street movie we've ever gotten. Hopefully, we get an Elm Street film in the future, but who knows? Now, if you guys don't know much about the story, the film is set in a fictitious town in Ohio and centers on a group of teens living on one street who are stalked and murdered in their dreams by this disfigured man named Freddy Krueger. And the teens discover they have all share in common link from their childhood that makes them target for Krueger. Now, the movie is led by, of course, you had Jackie Earle Haley, which, believe it or not, you know who was originally going to play Freddy Krueger at one point? Billy Bob Thornton, which I'm like, that would have been interesting. Like, can you imagine Bad Santa as Freddy Krueger? That's a casting I would have loved to have seen. But Jackie Earle Haley, I thought was pretty decent. Of course, at the time, he also did Watchmen. He's done some other cool stuff here and there. I think he was pretty good as Freddy Krueger, because in my opinion, the reason why I liked him as Freddy Krueger, he wasn't trying to imitate Robert Englund. Robert Englund was Freddy Krueger. He wasn't trying to just like with Will Smith as Aladdin, or Will Smith as the genie in Aladdin. I'm glad that he did not like try to imitate Robert Williams or anything like that. And to me, I'm really glad that Jackie Earle Haley didn't try to imitate Robert Englund. Like he was pretty much his own thing, and it didn't look the same as the original. But come on, they weren't trying to make it look like the original. And of course, they had Kitty Cassidy, of course, who were going to be in Arrow. You also have Cal Gallner, who's pretty much a screen king in a way. Of course, recently he was just in Smile 2, Strange Darling, Scream 5. List goes on and on. He is like a legit Scream King. And this movie also had Rooney Mara, who of course at the time wasn't as well known. Obviously, at the time she also did the Social Network. Then a year later she would get her of course she would do like the in the Spider's Web, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo remake from 2011. She was actually pretty solid in this. You also had Thomas Dekker was also in this. Helen Lutz, who of course at the time was very hot because of Twilight fame. You even had Connie Britton was in this. Clancy Brown, of course, from SpongeBob, Shawshank fame. I mean, is this movie like one of the best out of the horror remakes? Obviously not. If I had to choose between the horror remakes, I think it's better between the Halloween remake, um, the Friday the 13th remake, the Texas Chainsaw remake, or this. I would probably say Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. That movie is more better than people give credit for. But yeah, I really did not mind this remake. I had a lot of fun time with it. It was really creepy. I actually still own it, believe it or not. I mean, it's a really decent one. Like again, it's still like one of my favorite horror films. No, does it have some problems? Yes, it definitely has some problems. But at the end of the day, I actually remember watching this and quite enjoying it. So yeah, and it's a shame we never got to see a sequel, but yeah, who knows if we're ever gonna see Jason and Freddy back on screen again, but that's what I say. Anyway, let me let you guys. Have you ever seen the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street? If so, which so were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Favorite scenes, favorite moments? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is serious.